There are friendships to make, resumes to build, and colleges to apply to. Time is of the essence, so it's important to know where our time should go. I have a history teacher, Miss Denning, and the color of her glasses matched the color of her shoes. She loved Circus Peanuts and Dennis Rodman, and she taught the majority of our parents. So when Miss Denning talks, we listen. And a question that Miss Denning will tell us is, ask yourself every night before you go to bed, did I have time for one more thing? Just one more task to accomplish. More often than not, the answer to that question is yes. There's always room for one more thing. Maximizing my capabilities and making the most of what I have to offer has been a struggle, or has been a principle that I've tried to use in my life. You see, my sophomore year, I decided I wanted to add one more thing to my schedule, and that was cheerleading. Needless to say, I loved it. There was the cute outfits, being friends with a great group of girls, and not to mention the yelling. The problem was that there was other things to fill in my schedule. There was FFA, NHS, BPA, student council, the catechism class that I teach to kindergartners every Wednesday, and not to mention keeping up my grades. So everyone else started to notice that whenever I added the cheerleading, the quality was lacking everywhere else. I wasn't able to be everything and do everything for everyone. And the tough and hard lesson that I had to learn was that sometimes you have to say no. So that's what I did. I gave cheerleading up. On the other token, a harder lesson for me to learn was that sometimes you lose everything by trying to be everything and everyone. I had an amazing teacher. Let's call him Mr. R. Mr. R loved teaching. It was everything to him. Passion for the job and Mr. R went hand in hand. But the problem was that he stretched himself so thin. He coached middle school and high school sports. He was an FFA advisor, and just the stress of being a school teacher became too much. He left abruptly in the middle of the semester, and I still remember one of his addresses to us. He stood right there by his podium, like he usually did, and he got a little teary-eyed, and he said, you know, guys, I've done too much for too long. There's times that I come out here at 4 in the morning to work on lesson plans, and I don't leave till 7 or 8 because I've been coaching a team, and I can't handle it anymore. And now when he comes around, he questions us and, wants to know how we're doing in contests, how school is going. You can see that he wants to be that teacher again. He wants to be in the classroom. And he lost everything, and he lost the joy in doing what he loves because he tried to do too much. Steering away from that, I'd like you to think about yourself, what your goals are, what you love, what you're involved in, what you would like to be involved in. Think of where you see yourself 5 years, 10 years from now. Now think about what you could be doing now to obtain that goal. Seek to amaze yourself. Write down what you do day to day, and you may be surprised by how much you accomplish. It's the small and little things that build up. It's the day-to-day activities that create a resume and a life you can be proud of. We are at such an impressionable age. Now is the time to start figuring out the kind of person we want to be, who we will become. Robin Williams said a phrase in the Dead Poets Society that stuck with me so much because it had matched up to so much of what I wanted to talk to you all about today. He said, you must strive to find your own voice. The longer you wait to begin, the less likely you are to find it at all. So I will stress it. Start looking and searching for what you want the world to hear. We wouldn't want to wake up years from now and regret the chances we didn't take when we were 16 or 17 or 20. A sigh from an "at least I tried" is a lot easier to sleep with than a "I wished I would have." Remember that it all begins with ourselves. If we become the best possible version of ourselves, that will resonate throughout every aspect of our lives. And be a little selfish. I know this goes against so much of what we're taught, and each of your mothers is probably yelling at me, why would you tell my child to be selfish? But it all begins with ourselves. If we hope to become selfless and help others find their happiness, we must first find our own happiness. So be selfish. Do a little me work first. Because at the end of the day, you'll be able to help everyone else whenever you found your happiness. It's never too early for that. Shakespeare said, the meaning of life is to find your gift. The purpose of life is to give it away. So start doing that and be curious. Start searching for that gift that you want to give to the world. If you want to be a cheerleader, be a cheerleader. Try volleyball. Do what interests you and know that you can manage all of it. But most of all, seek to amaze others and seek to amaze yourself first.